It was here, the Christians say, that Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead to save the world from sin. It was here, the Muslims say, that the Prophet Muhammad arrived on a winged horse and ascended to heaven. It was here, the Jews say, that Solomon built the first temple and where the true Messiah will come to lead mankind into paradise. Jerusalem, first settled 5,000 years ago, focus of faith for a third of the world's population, but never a city of brotherly love. 20 years ago, Israeli troops captured the part of the city which Jordan had controlled since the creation of Israel in 1948. The Wailing Wall, the remains of the temple destroyed by the Romans and Judaism's holiest place, was once more accessible to Jews. It was a unique moment, not least for General Uzi Narkis, the commander of the victorious troops.
I was overwhelmed. I felt very great. I felt very happy that destiny chose me as a messenger of the Jewish people.
And so, for the first time in more than 1,800 years, a Jewish state and a Jewish army commanded all Jerusalem. But if the city is no longer divided, neither is it united. Jerusalem remains the eye of the storm in the endless conflict between Arab and Jew. Nearly 500,000 people live here. More than 70% are Jews. Most of the rest are Muslims. All can practice their faith freely. Still, there are religious tensions and sometimes violence. For Muslims, one of the worst incidents took place in 1982 when a Jewish American began a shooting spree at the Dome of the Rock. 2 Muslims were killed and a dozen wounded. For Israelis, a major incident occurred last fall when grenades were thrown at some soldiers and their families following a ceremony at the Western Wall. 1 soldier was killed and 69 wounded. Teddy Kollek has been mayor of Jerusalem for more than 20 years.
We were prophesied clashes every day and rape and murder every day. We have had a few terrorist activities. You have sometimes strong feelings on one side or the other, but on the whole, the city has held together better than maybe even some American cities.
Under Kollek's leadership, Jerusalem has gone from a cultural backwater to a place where world-class artists such as Zubin Mehta and Isaac Stern come to perform and teach. Arabs rarely share in this. There has also been tremendous building here, most of it housing for 140,000 Israelis on land taken from the Arabs. Jonathan Kutab is a graduate of the University of Virginia Law School, married to an American, and a leader of Jerusalem's Arab minority.
There is a huge psychological barrier there. We live a few hundred yards apart, and yet we are truly worlds apart in many, many ways.
Even the next generation has little contact. Jewish children go to Israeli schools and learn Jewish history. Palestinian children go to Arab schools and learn Jordanian history, and perhaps some Hebrew. By law, all Jerusalem residents are equal. The Arabs say, in practice, they are regularly harassed and widely discriminated against.
All this, at least to the Palestinians, it has a clear message. This land is for the Jews only. You don't belong here, we do not want you here. We will use all the means at our disposal to make life difficult for you here so that you will leave.
I know that they have the nationalistic feelings. I can't blame them. But Jerusalem, maybe they begin to understand that Jerusalem is not going to be divided again.
In the history of Jerusalem, 20 years is but the blink of an eye. Its past remains on display for all to see. Its future remains the most contentious issue in the Arab-Israeli conflict, and no closer to resolution now than it ever was. Barrie Dunsmore, ABC News, Jerusalem.